When we use our spelling pattern reading mats, some dice have consonants and others have digraphs and blends. Your students can use the dice and roll their own initial sounds. This is super important so you can differentiate this activity because it's flexible and it can grow along with your students.
Someone had already started the idea of having like hopscotch mats with sight words on it. I'm trying to get them to walk as slowly as they need to read every single letter, every phoneme, every whatever you want to call it, but they need to sound them out. The dice let me differentiate the activity to how I needed it to be for my students. I was like, I have some students that can do CBC. Some are working on blends. Some are working on the digraphs. So having those and using the little inserts I have on TPT, I could switch them to be whatever I needed. And it was exactly what my students were great with. I just use them as the entry ticket to my room, so I'd roll it out in the morning and make every single one of them read it as they came in. One kid could have it more challenging, one could have it less. There was no instance where a student wasn't getting their area of proximal development. When they saw that mat the first day, I didn't even have to tell them. They ripped off their shoes and they started reading. And if it was like a silent E one, they saw the pattern. And they didn't give up. They'd say, oh, there's a silent E word, there's a silent E word. I need to have my long vowel sounds. And they read so well. That daily phonics decoding practice was instrumental, not only to their learning and their progress, but for me in taking in data. Because there were days where I couldn't see every small group. That's normal. But having every single one of my students go through and I feel like, well, digraph, this isn't working. I knew what to go back and talk to them about in small group. So that was one of my things that I'm sold on. The ones that go faster are specifically math fluency mats, because that one's just like a fluency drill. I have them for shapes, for numbers, and with those I integrate the dice again, because for those they're rolling for operations and it's like a consistent addition, but the numbers are out of whack. I have them for skip counting. It was just great to have them have the accountability in their learning with these mats. It's just a fun, engaging activity. My population is primarily ESOL. I'm not trying to get my kids to memorize words at this point. In first grade, I need them to get the science of reading. They need to know the processes, and decoding was my emphasis. To be a first-year teacher and to have so many imposter syndrome feelings being around veteran teachers, but I was able to apply my expertise to better my craft as a teacher through learning more about language and learning more about my students too, and how I need to make more play-based learning opportunities for them. Game changer. That's what I need to keep doing, and it makes me really happy.